Hello and welcome to what I hope will be Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I am going to be trying a very old puzzle today. I mean, there's no other real way of saying it. It's called Heatstroke, and it's by Emmettcito, and Emmettcito is a name I haven't seen in the world of Sudoku for years. This puzzle dates back, I think, to April 2021, which gives you an idea of how old it is. And I don't think it's been solved many times. We've had a couple of very recent requests to look at this, and I found it on Logic Masters Germany. And look at these comments. It's a bit weird, actually, to me, this one, because the puzzles, I was a bit worried I might have done the puzzle before. So I went to our catalogue, which lists, obviously, all the puzzles we've ever solved. And there was a Thermo Sudoku by Emmettcito, but it wasn't this one. But they were all clustered around sort of the middle months of 2021. And I don't know why we didn't look at this at the time. Look at these comments. Another brilliancy, says Agent. Demono. This puzzle was so good I solved it twice. The first time in 2.5 hours, which is a terrifying admission from Demono, who is a big brain. Playmaker, who's another big brain. One of the hardest and most incredible Thermo Sudokus I ever solved. Took me just over 3 hours, so this could be a really long video, if I can solve it at all. Phistomefel. Actually, I didn't spot this earlier. Phistomefel has commented, setting a Thermo Sudoku on the back of just 2 and 3 cell thermos is quite a feat, and the entry felt a bit like a gladiator fight, brutal and spectacular. Thank you very much for setting this puzzle, Emmettcito. Pixel Plucker is another. There's so many names here from the sort of echelons of the top end of Sudoku setting and solving over the years. Pixel Plucker says, I'm lost for words. That was amazing. Pulverizing Pancake. Fantastically elegant break-in. CWG 2000. Gosh, that's a name from the past as well. So is this all... Yeah, I mean, it is. Phistomefel's point is remarkable, isn't it? Because these are very short thermometers. I've got an idea, actually. I don't know if my idea is a sensible one. No, actually, it might not be. Anyway, that's solving. I mustn't do solving before we get through the discussions, or before I tell you what I'm going to be trying to do, which I've sort of done, and before we've done things like birthdays. Very short rule set today, because it is just a plain vanilla Thermo Sudoku, and I will read the rules in a moment or two's time. Now, what else can I mention before we kick off today? There are some things. We are on Sunday, aren't we? Yes, we are. So tomorrow night at 10 p.m. UK time, Mark and I are streaming again. We're going back to Blueprints. It's a really cool game. Here we go. Here's a picture. Oh no, my screen's moved again. We're going to the Blueprints mansion. We got thoroughly discombobulated last time. The whole stream last time only lasted 1 day of game time. Such was the exploration that we were able to do. Anyway, that's what's happening tomorrow night. We'd love to have your company if you're around. Let's have a look at where we are on our Patreon reward, which is called Regeneration this month. It's another Sudoku hunt. This one is a series of puzzles sort of linked together at a corner. So this is very much in the theme of our new oh, actually, I've just thought I can tell you something about that. Yeah, so we've got these new apps out, Sudoku worms we're calling them, where you've got lots of puzzles linked together at a corner. So once you've solved the first one, you get a little bit of help with the second, etc. Well, we received a new worm last night from none other than Phistomefel, which is like super exciting. So we haven't tested it yet, but it has come in. So thank you very much, Phistomefel, for sending that in to us. So there might be a new Sudoku one. We've released them already by Marty Sears and James Sinclair. So check those out. They are our latest apps. Oh gosh, I was meant to check the solve counter, wasn't I? So we were at 1,000 for the first puzzle, 1366. and 213 for the final. Let's see where we are now. 213 has, yeah, it's gone up loads. 361, and well, we've bashed through 1,500 solvers of the first puzzle. Well done to all those of you who are attempting these puzzles. That is a phenomenal. It's phenomenal how clever our patrons are. It really is. And there's still loads of time left. You've got until the 20th. Where are we at the moment? The 6th. Yeah, so 2 weeks left. If you'd like to have a go at the competition, and the prize will be to try and make a Sudoku video with me that will appear on the channel. We'll solve a puzzle together, and I'm hoping that Tim and I will be able to get together soon. And Tim won last month's competition. So anyway, that's another bit of news. What else have we got here? Birthdays. Let's do birthdays. Catherine, you turned 20 today, and I know this because your father Dowie wrote to me and said that, well, actually, Catherine, you got Dowie into cracking the cryptic, so thank you for doing that. I think you were visiting your parents over in India, and you spread the word about variant Sudoku, and you've got your father hooked. Well done. That is what I like to hear. And but I know. Well, let's get my tongue out of my teeth. I think this evening you're going to see Tim Minchin with your twin Ewan, and I think your parents as well. So that being the case, well, it must be Ewan's birthday. These are the logical deductions you get to make on cracking the cryptic. So happy birthday to Ewan as well. Well, I hope Tim Minchin is good, and I am assured that if I read this message out, your father Dowie will be sorting out chocolate cake. So I think I've secured you the chocolate cake, Catherine. Many happy returns. And now the next birthday is a day late. I'm sorry about this. I hope it's not $1 short. Johnny, you turned 23 yesterday, and I know this because Auntie Louise wrote in. And she did write in time as well. It's my fault. I had a commitment yesterday, which meant I had to pre-record yesterday's video. It doesn't happen often, but it did happen yesterday. I was actually down at Rye, that fantastic golf course on the south coast of England. So thank you very much to Will, to John, and to Francois for a very nice day. But anyway, that's where I was, and that's why I couldn't record on time yesterday and say happy birthday to you, Johnny, properly. But Auntie Louise asked me to say, and we have Maverick flying by at the same time, Johnny. So this is a very potent birthday wish. Well, she asked me to say how proud your family are of you, Johnny, actually, and to wish you very good luck in your finals. I think you've just finished your final exams, and you're about to start your new job this week. Well, so good luck with that, and I believe it's something to do with computer gaming. So my personal hope is that you are about to nerf Protoss in StarCraft 2. Could that be the case? Because they certainly need it, especially with the World Championship coming up. It is currently a joke. So yes, buff Reinhardt in Overwatch 2, nerf the Protoss, or just delete them from the game in StarCraft 2, and that would be most welcome. But you're probably not doing that, are you, Johnny? But if you are, please help. Many happy returns. I hope your birthday was brilliant yesterday. Now, that's all the news. With that said and done, let's have a look. It's not going to take me long to do the rules of this one. Heatstroke by Emmettcito, a puzzle that is many years old. The rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. And along a thermometer, digits must increase from the bulb end. So if this square is, well, let's not make it a 1, let's make it a 4. Then this has to be it has to be more than 4. Just as mercury would rise along a real thermometer as the temperature rises, so Sudoku digits must rise as we move away from the bulb. So this has to be at least 5. It doesn't have to be 5. You can miss out digits to make that 7 and that 9. So 4, 7, 9 would be a completely legitimate way to fill that thermometer, and they are. Oh, that's literally it. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I mean, it's going to, one thing that will interest me about this is that obviously in the intervening period, in the last 4 years, there's been obviously this incredible explosion in variant Sudoku puzzles, and I'm actually sort of hoping that some of the techniques that I've learned in the meantime might be useful to solving an earlier puzzle. That would be very helpful. So, I mean, my first thought was, could it be about set, which back in 2021 may not have even existed as a thing. So set is the idea that you can compare parts of the grid. For example, I'm noticing in this column I've got an awful lot of bulbs. And there was one puzzle I did. Who was it by? It was an astonishing creation. It was entirely 2-cell thermometers, but they were arranged all over the grid in such a way that I could use set. But set would be something like saying, okay, that's a set of the digits 1 to 9. I'm not seeing a very good crossover for that. It might be something like saying those two columns are each a set of the digits 1 to 9. Those two rows maybe are a set of the digits 1 to 9. Two sets of the digits 1 to 9. So we know that the green and the blue sets are equal, and then you can remove things from both sets and still have equivalence. So what's left in green is the same as what's left in blue. This is not going to work. There's no constraints on these cells. So although I thought it might be interesting, I'm actually not sure that is. Maybe though what we could do is think about 9 in this. No, that's not going to work either. I mean, there are very few tricks and tips I can tell you about Thermo Sudoku. The most obvious tip is that if you want to put a 9 on a thermometer, you can only put it in the very tip. Because obviously if we make that cell a 9, this has to be bigger than 9, and there are no such Sudoku digits. Similarly with 1, if you want to put a 1 on a thermometer, you must put it in the bulb for the same reason. If this was a 1, that would have to be a 0. And although the software lets us write that in, that is not going to be the correct answer to this puzzle. But 9 in this column I was just wondering about, because I've got a sort of plethora of bulbs. But I think there's still plenty of possible spaces for 9s. The only other thing I'm seeing here is more of a sort of how one might set a puzzle. You've got that shape, you've got this shape here and this shape here, sort of opposite their friends. So that might do something. I will look at that. I'm just a bit. Yeah, see, 1 in this column maybe. That might be a better thought. Oh, yes, okay. Maybe we're in swordfish land, are we? 1 in column 6 is in one of those cells. 1 in column 4 is in one of those cells, because it can't go in the tip of these thermos. Now, if I can find one more column where the 1 is confined to these 3 rows, then we are in business. But that's really, oh no. Just to check column 3. It's awful. It's awful. No, okay. Okay. No, sorry. I thought I'd seen something there. This is not an auspicious start. I've tried about 3 or 4 things, and none of them have yielded anything. All right, let's check this sort of cut-off tuning fork shape. So, how's that working? We've got to put... Yeah, there is something there, isn't there? You can't... You can't put... let me just colour. Let me colour those digits and colour those digits. Now there is a dichotomy there because one of these thermos is bigger than the other, if you see what I mean. So if let's just ask where green goes in box 2, and the answer is because green can't go on its own thermometer. Green is in some of those cells. The 2 greens are in some of those cells, and the exact or exactly analogous situation is going on with purple. So purple is in some of those cells. But what we aren't going to be able to do here is to put whichever thermo is... How does this work? What's the way to describe this? One of these thermos... yeah, if you compare those digits... let's make one of these bigger than the other. And why do I want to do that, you may say? Well, because now you can see that it's absolutely impossible. It depends which way round these go, but in the situation where this one is bigger, this sort of hinge of this thermo is bigger than the hinge of this thermo, there's no way that the green digits can go on the tips of this thermo, because this is these 2 digits will axiomatically, according to thermo logic, be bigger than 5. So these 2 digits have to go there in box thingy, and now these 2 digits, which we know are different from the green digits because the green and purple are in the same row, have to go there. So that is very, very weird. And possibly, well, I think, no, it's logically correct what I've just said, but it's possibly wrong in the sense that it could be the other way round. It depends which hinge is bigger. So it's possible if this cell was bigger than this cell, this would flip round, and those 2 would go there, and these 2 would go there, and all my colouring would be wrong. But this must mean something, mustn't it? This must be doing something. As Maverick, stop flying over. It's distracting me. So, what are we saying here? If that's... Oh, I don't know. Well, okay, one thing we're saying, I'm just going to delete those 2 numbers because they're upsetting me. And I'm actually going to change the colours as well, to be honest, because I think what we've discovered here is to do with highness and lowness. So I'm just going to make these blue. And blue is my cold colour, orange is my hot colour. I'm a simple creature. So well, the reason I want to do that is I want to just focus on the thought that this is lower than this. When I say this is lower than this, by the way, as well, I'm referring actually to those hinges. I'm saying that this hinge is bigger than this hinge, and therefore it's not possible for these 2 digits to go on the tip of this thermo, and therefore you end up with this colouring, which may be inverted if this cell turns out to be, or these 2 turn out to be the blue hinge. Now, one thing I can see is that the hot hinge here, it has to be less, it has to be 6 or less, I think, because if this was 7, then what we're saying, am I wrong about this? I might be wrong about this. I might be wrong about that, actually. Because what I was thinking is that these... I think I am wrong. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, it's certainly true they'd have to be 8 and 9, and one of these would have to be 7. But I was hoping to say that these would be 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I don't think that's true. Why couldn't that be a 4? I suppose if it's a 4, it's pushing this down. But do we care if we push this down? Because obviously in this example, these would be a 4-7 pair. So this digit couldn't be higher than 3. But then that would have to be a 1 or a 2. And these would be 8. That's weird. Okay, so I was, my first, again, I've misunderstood how this works. I thought I was going to be able to at least put a little bit of pressure on this digit, but I don't think I can. So, so is it that one that's under pressure? I don't think this one is, but maybe that. Well, whatever this one is, we know that one has to be bigger than it. So how does that work? All right. So the cold one. That's so strange. It's so strange. So that I thought it was going to be this one, but the cold one can't be 6 actually. There we go. That is something I'm prepared to state. Because if the cold hinge is 6, as much as 6, the point there is we know the hot hinge, by axiomatically, is now at least 7. But this can't work now. Because these two are meant to be higher than 6. And they can't both be higher than 6. Or to put it another way, these two are definitely higher than 7, so they're 8, 9. And those two are definitely higher than 6, so they're from 7, 8, 9, and that's going to mean 4 digits in box 2 are too big. That 4 digits all being at least 7 is unacceptable. So we can't do that. So that one is at most 5, but we're going to test that now. If this was 5, then the minimum value of this is 6. But now this works, doesn't it? Because these, okay, so if this was 5, these would then be 6, 7, 8, 9. It's so peculiar that comes from the low hinge rather than the high hinge, but I think it does. Because now, those two have to be greater than 5, so they're at least 6, and these two have to be greater than 6, so they're at least 7, so that is a quadruple, if this is 5. And then 5 would be in one of those together with this digit, which could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. And these digits... Oh, well, if this was 5 and these were 6, 7, 8, 9, this sort of cross, this blue cross, well, it would become a blue cross because it would contain lots of low digits. Right, okay, so what we can do there is we can say the cold side, the sort of buffet, the cold buffet, which is either that domino or that domino, has a top digit that is at most 5, which means these digits are at most 5, which means this digit is at most 5, and therefore it's not 1 or 2, because it's on a 3-cell thermo. 5, 4, so this is 3, 4, 5, this is 4, 5, 6. What are you doing, you silly man? 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 is what I meant to type. I think that was a slip of the fingers, let's call it that. Even if I'd had a Protoss army, though, if I'd had a Protoss army, it wouldn't have lost. It wouldn't have got anything. I'd just simply recall back to my base, or put 15 zealots with charge into yours, and I would still win. Anyway, let's think about this now. So these two are lowish. But yeah, this is another... Okay, I'm going to try something else now, which is how low can the hot digit be? So if these were as low as they could be, so this... Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, but I better be careful here, because we've got the same pattern down there, but without this funny thermo coming down here. So let's do it down here, because I don't think there's a problem with this being 2-1, because these would be a 1-2 pair. So in this version, these are blue, these are blue, this is the orange. So this is the orange hinge, which is greater than the blue hinge. Now, how low can that be? And now I'm going, no, it can't be 3. It can't be 3 because this would be too low. This would be 1 or 2, but have to go on one of those hinges. So this could be 4, perhaps. I really hope this doesn't work, because this is going to be tremendously awful. Oh, no. That does work. Because now these have to be greater than 4. And there are a lot of numbers. Well, effectively what you'd get is a T pentomino there of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with no pressure on it at all. Ah, bobbins, right, okay. So that's terrible. That is terrible news. So, okay, what that means is, although by happenstance, or because of the existence of this thermo, we can't actually have 1-2 on the cold side in these two tuning forks. You absolutely can down here. And the reason I don't like the feeling of that is that in my brain has got used to the fact that orange is warm. And I want, therefore, something in me wants to think of orange as being sort of 6, 7, 8, 9 type feelings. But that's not true. We've just proved that orange could be 4 and 3. So that's just terrible. That's just terrible. So this digit here, it can't be as low as 3, we've just discovered. But it could be as low as 4. And it could be as high as 7 if these were an 8-9 pair. So that in theory is 4, 5, 6 or 7. I don't really want to pencil mark it, I think. A, because it's got so many options. B, because I don't want to fixate too much on which way round this could go, because it could be the other way round. Whereas these pencil marks are valid. This pencil mark is valid because these are from the cold side, which could be this side, but that's fine. These are still cold digits, and we've worked out the cap on the cold digit is 5. So this thermo is correctly marked. Yeah, but the colours here may not be correctly marked. Yeah, so okay, so one thing we can say actually is that whichever is the cold side at the bottom of the grid, I have got 2 cold digits there, and that we know they are maxed out at 5. So if we knew, so if I knew that 5 was not possible in this position on the cold side, so maybe I just have missed a point. Maybe if I put 5 here, it doesn't work for some reason. Let me just rethink that. Why did I think 5 worked? If 5 worked, we know that has to be at least 6. So I know... Oh no, that has to be at least 7 now, because these two have to be greater than 5, and we know that these two are those two. So the minimum there is 6, 7. I'm just wondering if there's a reason this doesn't work. These would be 8, 9. And I can get rid of 5, then I'd have a quadruple in column thingy, in column 5. Ooh, I've just spotted something else that's very... Actually, I have just spotted something else. Focus on what you're doing first before you spot other things, you silly man. I've just noticed that digit can't be a 1. Anyway, but that's not what I want to think about. I want to think about why can't this be 5? One of these would be 5. These wouldn't be able to be 5. So the cold side, let's say that was the cold side down here. These would be, this would be 2, 3 or 4. This would be 1, 2 or 3. This would be a hot digit, but which could be incredibly low still. I don't know actually. No, sorry. Okay, I don't know that I can get rid of 5. But I did spot something when I was thinking about this, which is that digit can't be a 1. And that is because if that's a 1, where do... Oh no, I'm talking absolute nonsense. No. Okay, sorry. Okay, in my brain, I'd been trying to work out about these 4 digits being 1, 2, 3, 4. And therefore, mentally, I'd taken 1, 2, 3, 4 out of there. And therefore, when I looked at that digit, I was thinking, oh, it can't go in box 5. Because 1 couldn't go in there. 1 can't go on the tips of thermos, so there'd be nowhere to put it. Oh, well, wait a minute then. Hang on. There's no backwards logic I can do there. I don't think there is, actually. Oh, no, is that a paradox? Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah. That's... no. hang on. There's something about this that's jarring. My brain is jarring at me and saying there's a problem, and I can't now see it. Because I started off this exercise by thinking about why couldn't 5 go in there to create a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. Then I thought this couldn't be a 1, which would be true in that situation. So if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, that can't be a 1. That means this square is at least a 4. But we're saying it would have to be a 4, actually, aren't we? Because we're starting from this being a quadruple. So that would be 4, 3, 2. And that doesn't work either. Oh, this is weird. There's something going on here. Okay, come on, think clearly. Right. Right. Okay. Well, I am now going to say... I'm going to say this is not a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, actually. So I'm saying the very opposite to the thing I started off wanting to say. I'm going to actually say no. No, Simon, you're absolutely wrong. These 4 digits I've just highlighted are not 1, 2, 3, 4. Because if they were, let's just make it so. Make it so. I've made it so. And now the puzzle's broken, I think. And the reason it's broken is very weird, but it's to do with these 2 bulbs. I think. Because what I've noticed is this bulb in particular now has a big problem in this box. Where are we going to let it live? Because it can't be in its own row. It can't now be in its own in column 5, because there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple looking at these 3 squares. So it's not in any of those. It's not on its own thermometer. So it's a 1, 2, or a 3 living in one of these 3 squares. But we know this is a tiny old digit, so this is not a 3. Okay, so because 3, 4, that would make this a 5. So it's at most a 2, so it's a 2 or a 1, and it's got to go into one of those cells. Well, which one? This is the 3rd cell on the thermo. It's not going here, so we can take that one out. Now, you might say, oh, it could be a 2 in one of those, Simon. Well, it could. That is true. Let's make that so. But if this was a 2 going in one of those cells, that is a 1, and that just flicks our problem over to this side. That can't work, because now where are we going to put 1 in this box? It's even worse trying to put 1 in this box. It can't go anywhere. Just straight away, it can't go anywhere. All of these thermos are not bulbs, and this can't be a 1 because there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple looking at it. So it's impossible. It's impossible for this to be true. And the weird thing about this is, now let's restore that 5. Let's restore 5, restore 5, restore 5, because we must restore 5. We must do that. It is now absolutely essential for one of these digits to be a 5, which means one of the hinges, which in my world at the moment is either this hinge. I don't know how to pencil mark this, but there's a 5. There's a 5 in the puzzle on a blue hinge, and I don't know where the blue hinges are. They're in one of those 4 positions. But exactly one of those 4 positions is a 5, and it's a low blue. It's a blue hinge. Now, that's very interesting. Because that means, I mean, we've looked at this already, but imagine that's the blue 5 in the puzzle. Then these squares have to be 6, 7, 8, 9, don't they? Because axiomatically, we've now worked out that in order for these not to be a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, one of them is a 5. The only way of putting 5 on a blue side is to put it in the hinge, because if this is a 5, this will be a 6, and then that's going to be a 7, and those digits all have to be selected from 7, 8, 9 at least, which is impossible. So the blue, the hinge will be blue, therefore on its thermo you're going to have digits higher than 5, so say 6, 7, 8, 9. On the other side, because the other hinge is bigger than the 5, these digits are going to be bigger than 6 even. So this is going to be a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. But that could exist here or here. But one of either those or those are 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so what that means, this is ridiculously, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, is what it is. Okay, so now this is so beautiful, because now, can you see what's happened? So I think I've got a bit lucky here, actually, with how I've solved this, because I've been thinking about this digit and where it goes in this box. And first of all, I missed the fact it could be in one of those squares, but then I proved it couldn't be in the event that these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I know this digit cannot be in those cells for a totally different reason. It's really gorgeous, because either that is a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, or this is a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, depending on where my blue hinge is. But that means that there is a box, and it might be this box or it might be this box, in which this cell is from a 1, 2, 3, 5 set, because obviously if they are 6, 7, 8, 9, this is a blue digit. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Now, I don't know whether that's here for the blue digit or here, but it's one of them, and therefore in this column there is a floating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple made up of these 4 digits and one of those digits. And that means that these digits are, well, I was going to say hot, but actually they're hotter than hot, because hot could mean a very small number, we've discovered. But these digits are definitely very hot. They are from 6, 7, 8, 9. And now my purple digit definitely can't go in here. So where's my purple digit going? In box 5. Let's do it again. It's not going there. It's definitely not one of those. It can't go on its own thermo. It can't. Oh, well, hang on. It could go there if it was a 3. Hang on. What? So what? Hang on. What is going on with my purple? My purple is in one of those, and this one as well. If that. Well, okay. Let's start. That simply cannot be a 1 now, because the purple digit is going on the end of a thermo, definitely. So this can't be a 2, and this can't be a 3. Now, if my purple digit was a 2, it can't go there. It would go there, but then this would be a 1. And yeah, and then we run into trouble again. Yeah. So actually, this is a 3, I think. But let me try and explain that. If this was a 2, it couldn't go here. That's the 3rd cell on a thermo. It would have to go in one of those cells, making this a 1, but this can't be a 1, because again, it's the same reason this couldn't be a 1. If this is a 1, where are we putting 1 in the box? It has no place to go. So this is a 3, and that thermo goes 3, 4, 5. So that's the 5. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. Because now I want to write 5 in there, but of course this could be the other way round. Well, but it does mean that's blue, definitely. Because this being 5, whichever one of these is the blue hinge, it's forcing these to be the 6, 7, 8, 9, isn't it? So these are all low digits. We might want to, I am going to do that actually. I'm going to do that because I don't know which way round this goes. Now, okay, so this digit is a great big old digit now, because I've now got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I now know where my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple goes. And this is a 3. So if the 3 was in one of those... No, this is lovely. This is so good. Right. This is going to give me even more digits. Can that 3 now go in one of these two ends? No, because then this has to be 1 or 2. We've already said it can't be 1, because there's nowhere it can live in the box. If it's 2, where are we putting it? It can't go on its own thermo, and it can't go on the end of a 3-cell thermo. So this digit, which is a 3, has to go there, which means that's 2 and that's 1, which means this is not 1 or 2. This is not 3 or 4. Sorry, this is not 3 or 4. And hang on, let's now be very careful. What is this digit then? Let's just make that yellow for a moment while I think about this. It can't go on its own thermo, and it can't go in its own row. But it can't be as high as 6 or something like that, can it? I think it has to be 4, but I'm not certain about that. But the reason I think it might have to be 4, well, yeah, I mean, axiomatically it's 1, or it's not 3 because it sees 3 in its own row. So it's not that digit, it's not those digits, so it is one of these digits. Now, if this was as high as 6, then these 2 digits would be from 7, 8, 9, and in this box those 5 digits there would all be selected from 7, 8, 9 or 6. That's too many high digits in the box. So actually what we've now worked out is this has to be that digit, doesn't it? There's no other option that's even remotely sensible. So that's a 4. It's that digit. 4 is down there, 3 is up here. These digits are at least 5 now, and that's okay. In fact, one of them is 5. One of them is 5. Because this, that's a sort of eupentomino of highliness. I can't find a good colour to colour them. But those 5 digits now are a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quintuple in box 5. And these digits are 1 and 2. And that's a 1-2 pair. So right, so now these digits are all massive, because they've got to be from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, does that tell us? I feel like that must be saying something about which side is high here. Yes, no, or is it? Hang on. So on one side, if this is the cold side, if that's cold, it's these 2 digits, isn't it? But this digit can't be 1 or 2, so it would have to be 3 here and 4 here. So that would be a 4. And then this would be at least a 5, because it would be the hot hinge. Yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Because if this is the hot hinge, and it's got to be bigger than 4, these 2 digits have to be bigger than 5. And again, I've got too many digits in box 8 that are high then. Because those 6 digits would all be selected from, well, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That can't work. So actually, we now know that this is the blue side of box, of the sort of these tuning forks. So this is the hot side. These digits, well, that can't be a 4. So this is 2 or 3, but that has to correspond to this one. Yeah, now these can't be 4, because these can't be 4. So these are not 4, and this one, if it was a 2, couldn't be that one. This one couldn't exist, so that's got to be 3. That's got to be 3, and that's fine, because now this is 1 or 2 and is that one. This is stunning. It is ridiculously clever. And the most exciting thing, oh, well, I have had, how can I have had 50 minutes? I have only been solving this for 7 minutes. That is surely true. All I've been doing is, I do not understand where the time goes sometimes. So, right, take stock. Just use your brain. Come on, what on earth does it... Oh, I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in row 5. So, I mean, it would be an excessive pencil mark, wouldn't it? It is an excessive pencil mark, forgive me for that, but I just want to... I do feel the puzzle is dividing into sort of high and low digits, so if I do see the opportunity where I know something is pretty well high, I'm going to mark it, like this cell I now know is at least 6, 7, 8 or 9. 5 is definitely down here, but I don't know where. This hinge is higher than 3, so that's at least 4. Oh, no, it's not. It's more than... Oh, no, oh, it is more than 4. It is more than 4. Because if it was only 4, what would this digit be? It would have to be 1, 2, or 3, and it sees all of those by Sudoku. So that's at least 5, which means these can't be 5 because they're on a thermo with a 5. With at least a 5. They're higher on a thermo. And now that's a 5 in this column. And these are very, very high. And that digit... Oh, that digit... No, this digit can't be 5 because it sees 5. So that digit's at least 6, which means these digits are at least 7. This is ridiculous. Now, actually, how big can that be? It can't be bigger than 7. Because these would have... If this is 7, that's an 8, 9 pair. If this is 8, these would both have to be 9. So that's 6 or 7. And this digit is lower than that. But it's not 1, 2, or 3, or 5. So it's 4 or 6. If this is 7, that could be a 6, probably. Okay. Right, 6 in this column now is definitely at the top. So these are not 6. So isn't this going to mean... Surely... Hang on, so what... I know that... So one of these sides is blue. And the blue, let's say that was blue, that's delivering those digits. This is hot digits, which are going here. No, this can't... Right, so this time you have to think about it the other way round. If these were hot... They are going in those cells in box 2. But the selection of digits now is impossible. Because these would have to be... This would have to be an 8 or a 9. And this would have to be a 7. And obviously this can't be 8 or 9. Because these would be too big. So this is not the hot side of the top tuning forks. This is the hot side. And one of these is a 6. Yes, one of these is a 6 by Sudoku in this column. So this is a 6 because the other digit is higher than 6. So this has got to be 7. It's got to be, because otherwise these are going to get pushed up too high. So this is 6, 7. This is 8, 9. These are not 8, 9 now. These are 6, 7. These are not 7 anymore. And the cold digit, oh, we now know that's the 5, don't we? And this is 1, 2, or 4. It's not 1 by Sudoku. And it corresponds to this digit. So this digit is not 1 either. In fact, where's 3 in this row now? That's really strange, but... No, it's not really strange. It's just Sudoku that I haven't done. I apologise. Okay, so 8 and 9 in row 2 are a pair I've just seen. This is not 6, so this is not 6. Oh, that's not 3. It sees 3 in its column. This is a terrific puzzle. Oh, that's an 8-9 pair. So these are not 8 and 9 now. These are at least... Well, no, these are those digits by our logic, aren't they? So these are from 4, 6, 7. That's distressing. So one of them is a 4, because in this column now, there's a sort of sextuplet on massive digits, the 4 of which can only be in the bottom. So, oh, I see. And a different way of seeing that might have been to ask where 1 and 2 are in the column. And this digit has to be a 1 or a 2. So I've got a 1, 2 pair in row 8. And that's going to mean something. And now all of these little thermos are going to be used to disambiguate the puzzle. And that's grand, but I've now got to see how they do that. Oh, I know how to do this. In my sextuplet here, I got a 4 in one of those. So this has to include a 4, which I can now place there. This is now a 2 by Sudoku, so that's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 2 by... Well, we can do that in a variety of ways. I'm getting loads of digits in the puzzle. This is a 2, this is a 1. Oh, that was great. Now it's stopped. 1, 2. This bulb is quite big. It sees 1, 2, 4 and 3, so it's at least 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a 6, 7, 8, 9. Can we do any better than that? Okay, so that wasn't the tiny thermo to concentrate on. That doesn't work. Or if it does, I don't understand why. Okay, so... I don't know what to do. Where's the next weakness? Where's a point where we can tackle what we need to here? I know one of these is a 5. Do I care about that? I've got this lovely 8, 9 pair. This digit can't be 8 or 9. So that's 6 or 7. Ah, so row 8 hasn't got 8 or 9. Oh, that's good. Right, so it's this one actually was the key one. Because that one, now this can't be a 9 in a bulb, can it? So that's going to be an 8, that's going to be a 9, that's going to be a 9, that's going to be an 8, that's going to be a 9. So the tip of this thermo is now 6 or 7. So this isn't 7 or 8, this has come right down. 5 or 6. And we might be able to do more. 9 is in one of 2 places in box 7 by that old fair-weathered friend Sudoku. 9 and 8 can be placed in box 8. Let's double-click 9s. Yeah, that 9 comes out of here, so 8 comes out of here. Oh, 8 comes out of there as well. So this can't be 7. This has got to be 5. Bobbins. Well, no. Look at row 5. That digit's a 6 or a 7 by Sudoku, because it can't be 8 or 9 from the column. That gives me a 6, 7 pair, which means this digit isn't 6, 7. This is 8 or 9, and it sees 9. So that's 8. That's 9. I think that felt logical. I hope it was logical. 8 is in one of those 2. Oh, whoopsie. 8's in one of those 2 by Sudoku again. 9. Can I do better now with 9s than I used to be able to do? 8 in this box. Is that a sensible question? Can that be 8? That would be 9. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, what digits have... Oh, 3. 3, 5, 6. Oh, where's... Oh, this is a 6, 7 pair in box 9 because of this 6, 7 pair. So, right. Oh, they're right. So I'm going to get 3 in the corner. That's got to be a 3. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. One of those is a 3. Let's double-click 3s. Can we do more with those? No. No, actually, I don't think I can. Bother. What about 5s? I just got a new 5 here. So 5 is in one of 2 positions in box 7. If that was a 5, this would have to be a 7. And apparently that's possible, which is distressing in the extreme. 2, though, is living down here. So that can't be 2. Right, that can't be 2 because this would be a 1 by thermo logic. So I've now got a 2-5 pair down here, which means this digit is 6 or 7, and it's not 6 by Sudoku. And I don't trust what I just said anyway, because why couldn't this be a 4? That's a good question. Bother. Yeah, we've got a 4, 6, 7 triple down here. Okay, so this can't be 6, that is still true, but unfortunately... no, okay, that didn't work. Okay, let's check column 9, because we have got this 6, 7 pair there. So we've not put 1, 2 and 4 in, so that corner digit is 1 or 4. That digit is 1 or 2. That digit's 1, 2 or 4, I think. So that digit has a friend here, and it ends up down there. 2 is down here. Can that be a 2? No. If that was a 2, this would be a 1, and again that would break. So 2's been shunted over to the left-hand side. It's definitely not in the tip of this thermo. 5 is in one of those 2 cells in box 1 by Sudoku. So if 5 was here, this would have to be a 9. I'm looking at that like as if that's going to be instantly disproved. I'm not sure it is. Oh, that's rotten. Okay. Sorry then. I don't know what to do with that. I've got a 6, 7 pair in row 3. Okay, let's check that digit, because that one can't be 1, 2 or 3. So that's a thermometer bulb that's at least a 4. It can't be 5 or 6. So after that it's got to be 7 or 8. Now, this digit therefore is at least 5, but isn't 5, so that's 6, 8 or 9 perhaps? 4, 7, 8. Oh, that's that's very annoying. I don't think I can improve upon that, I'm afraid. Right, okay, so that didn't work either. That digit's really under pressure, because that sees 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and it can't be 2. Oh, is this, so this is that's ridiculous. I mean, that's a ridiculous naked 9, I think. It can't be 1, it's in the tip of a thermo. It can't be 2, because this can't be 1. It sees all the other digits apart from 9, so that's been available for ages, I just didn't see it. But that's still great, because it's going to keep us going, isn't it? Now this can't be 9. So, no, yeah, where's 9? 9's got to be there in box 4 by Sudoku. So that's now a 9 as well. So how many 9s have we got? All of them. All the 9s now. All your 9s belong to us. So let's double click 8s. Maybe I should have started with the higher digits. Where's 8? In box 7. One of 2 places. So how could this be an 8? That's really quite cute. If that was an 8, this couldn't be 8 by Sudoku, and that couldn't be 8 on its thermo, and there would be nowhere to put 8 in box 7. So that's 6. There we go. Please do something. Well, it makes that a 4. Okay, and it makes that an 8. So it has done something. It has done something. Oh, well, the other thing it's done is it's plonked 8 here, look. which is probably good. Is it though? What's that done? That's a 5, 6, 7 triple in row 4. So I haven't put 1, 2 and 3. Where's 3 in row 4? Can't go there. So that's a 3. Where's 3 in box? Oh yeah, can that be a 1? Unfortunately, maybe it can. Otherwise, this would be 3 and this would be 2. Okay, let's double click 8s though again. I still think we can do better with 8. Yeah, we can. That's an 8. All the 8s are done. This is a 7 actually, by the fact that this is a 6. So that's a 6, that's a 5, that's a 7. That sort of unwinds itself without us having to do anything too clever. Now this is now a 6, that's a 3. So that is a 3, that is a 3, and that can't be a 2, so that's got to be a 1 in the corner. 1, 5, 5, 2, 7 on the thermo, 7, 6, 6, 4, 7 here, so we take 7 out of these, 5, 6 makes this a 7. That's a 6, that's a 5, this is a 1 by Sudoku, that's a 2. That digit's a 2, that digit's a 2, that's a 4 by Sudoku, so that should be a 4 if we haven't made a ricket. That's a 1, that's a 1. These squares, 4 and 7, that seems to be resolved. 7 and 4, this is it, this is it. If I haven't made a ricket, that's a 6. No, that looks okay. That does look okay. We might have solved it. It's taken me a bit over an hour, but I don't mind that at all. I'm delighted to have solved it. Oh my goodness. Okay, it doesn't have the solution in it. Oh dear. Okay, it's only been solved 3 times in a very long time. Oh, well, that count of days isn't the true count of days, because this came out in, well, years ago. And 365 times 4 is a much bigger number than 113. So, have I got it right? That is going to be hard to tell. I'm going to need somebody... I'm either going to need Mark to check on Logic Masters Germany, or... Well, the Sudoku is correct, isn't it? Because Sudoku Pad checks the Sudoku. So the only other question then is, do all the thermometers work? So I can check that myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 5, 6, 7. I suppose that the only other thing would be if the puzzle had more than one solution. But I'm fairly confident in alleging it isn't going to have more than one solution, because someone would have noticed that. I think it looks right to me. It really does. And I think I did it logically. So, assuming those two things are true, this is the only solution to the puzzle. And Emmettcito, or Emmettcito, that is amazing. What an incredible puzzle. I'm not actually sure. I think I did elements of it in the intended way. I think it must be the case that we had to think about the tuning forks. That... And notice that you couldn't overload the tips, if you like. So one tip had to be developed, or if you like, the hot tip had to go on the cold tips, tuning fork tips. But I do think that my idea around this column and low digits was mad, because I only got that, luckily. I got it by considering whether that 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple existed and noticing this bulb was under pressure, and then sort of proving by paradox that couldn't be the case. And once I'd done that, all of a sudden I could start to see how they work together. It's a beautiful puzzle. Absolutely loved it. I loved it. And let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.